Good afternoon and welcome to Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana. It's time for the girls' 13U championship game here at the U.S. Basketball Open Championships. Along with Mike Walensky, I'm Scott McCauley. It's our pleasure to be in this incredible facility on the north side of Indianapolis, Indiana. We are on a Pacers court, and it's time to bring you the 13U championships from Seattle, Washington. It is Tree of Hope, and they will take on the AL, it's for Alabama, the Southern Stars 2023. So it's a championship game, a 13U matchup, Mike. Teams familiar with each other. They played for the very opening round game. This was a round-robin basketball tournament from schools all around the country arriving and playing on Thursday and Friday. These two schools, these programs qualified for the bracket. They make their way into this championship game.
There's no doubt about it, Scott. Today, we have two teams that are very similar. One, they both like to pressure on the defensive end. For the Tree of Hope Ball Club, they're a team out of Seattle that can really make things happen in the half court. For the Southern Stars, it's more of a full court game. Both teams also have veteran coaches. Mo Hines, he talked to us before the game, 7-year assistant at Washington State for the Cougars. And Coach Doug Bush, he just came off of an AAU Division I National Championship. In fact, he has two teams playing here for a championship here in the USA Basketball Championships. Yeah,
this is going to be a fascinating game to watch. And with the USA Basketball and this youth initiative that is intended to open up all types of opportunities, rules change a bit as you get involved with the United States basketball. And we'll talk about that throughout the opening quarter of these 4 periods. They are 8 minutes in length. And Mike, one of the big changes, and especially a big change for the AL Southern Stars, is the 30-second shot clock. This is the first time that the Southern Stars have played in a tournament setting with the shot clock, while Tree of Hope, they're more familiar with that 30-second shot clock, but it's a great addition to this tournament.
Well, the 30-second shot clock focuses teams on being efficient with the basketball. Generally, running that 30-second, you're going to have teams pick up tempo, and when you pick up tempo, it changes things. You have to be smarter with the basketball. You have to take better shots because you probably have more possessions to take. The other piece about this is the fact that every coach in USA Basketball is licensed. There are some really, really good basketball coaches, and these kids are being enhanced by that and their ability to develop as young basketball players moving forward. Many of these players have already played their first year of high school basketball, and some of them are starting to be looked at by a lot of Division I major Power 5 conferences.
The kids and the parents have enjoyed the previous 4 days here in Westfield, Indiana. The group that has put together the schedule for USA Basketball has done an outstanding job to space out the games. The players have had, in some cases, 2 games a day, but they would occur earlier in the day and then later on in the evening and the afternoon, so as not to wear down anyone. They're keeping them busy. The facility here at Grand Park is just incredible. Where Mike and I are watching this championship game today, there are 6 other courts surrounding us in this large field house. There is activity and action happening all around us. It has been nonstop hoops since Thursday when this USA Basketball and this US Open tournament tipped off. And the 13U championship game now is just moments away. The 2018 US Open Basketball Championships are a USA Basketball Youth Initiative that is intended to add opportunity, standards, and quality to youth basketball environment. Mike, that's so important. This is not just a tournament. There's so much more involved as soon as you put that USA Basketball stamp on a tournament and invite all of these kids from around the country and bring them to this one Midwest Championship event.
It allows each player and each team to learn more about itself because it now takes them in a position where they're playing teams from all over the country.
That matters.
Frankly, the Tree of Life team getting into the championship, they had to beat a team out of New York. So from coast to coast, there are teams from all over the place, and I think it enhances their ability. And most of these programs are focused on developing integrity, leadership, and other pieces that will help these kids move on for the rest of their life, regardless of the game of basketball.
Our screen is off. I don't have the officials. So now we get ready for this 13U championship game featuring the AL Southern Stars 2023. And their head coach is Doug Bush. He's a busy man here in Westfield, Indiana today. He will also coach a championship game immediately after this 13U title game. And as Mike mentioned just a few moments ago, he is coming off of an AAU national championship that occurred 2 weeks ago in Tennessee. That is the AL Southern Stars. And for Tree of Hope from Seattle, their head coach is Mo Hines. An assistant coach on the bench is Kylie Huerta. Kylie Huerta played for Mo Hines for this team that is currently she's coaching, and her younger sister is on the squad as well. They are from Seattle, Washington. And in the previous matchup, a game that was won by AL Southern Stars, it was interesting, Mike, to hear from the head coach of the Southern Stars, Doug Bush, mention game number 1, it was an 11 o'clock tip. He was not sure if Tree of Hope had their legs under them just yet because of the time change. He's expecting a little different effort, a different atmosphere in this rematch from an opening round game on Thursday.
Scott, I think the challenge for Tree of Hope will be to minimize their three-point shooting. They're a team that love to shoot the three, but sometimes when you shoot the three, you don't get the best shot. They've got to be a little bit smarter shooting that shot, especially early on in the ball game. It's a confidence factor as this Seattle ball club really likes to score the ball inside.
Maya Thurman won the opening tick, and then they tried to get a pass down low to Maya, and it was knocked out of bounds. And in the navy blue are the AL Southern Stars 2023. There's a shot off the mark by Maya Thurman out top, and the Southern Stars will reset. A 30-second shot clock involved in today's game, and that shot clock is already sitting at 12, splitting the defense. Madison Booker, and she kicks it out, and open 3 is off the mark.
And right off the bat defensively, you can see Tree of Hope packing in that zone defense, forcing the Stars to shoot the ball from the outside. The Stars, however, they're going to come after you and press. And look at that pressure on top in this full court set for the team out of Huntsville, Alabama.
And let's see if Tree of Hope now a little more used to this press after having already seen it. It was something that caused them problems in the opening round, and they're able to break that press. Their first offensive possession.
Yeah, there's 2 things you can do against that press. One, you can attack it and look to score a basket. The other is to pull it back out like they are and try to retain the basketball, look for the best shot, try to work the shot clock down. But again, that shot clock's going to be a factor.
And with the shot clock at 2, the 3 is on the way and good for Kay Jackson.
Kay Jackson got her feet under, got a nice shot, and got some spacing. Good distribution of the basketball by the Stars as the ball was knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, knocked away from Madison Booker. Along with Mike Walensky, I'm Scott McCauley. This is the 13U U.S. Open Basketball Championships in Westfield, Indiana. Scoop shot not there.
Good drive by Brittany Wells, number 4. She's the only player outside the Huntsville area. She's out of Memphis. Good job by the Tree of Hope Ball Club in transition.
And Katie Fizo is on the receiving end of that half-court pass to finish off the layup. And a quick 5-0 start for the group from Seattle, Washington, and a turnover by Booker.
Well, the script has been flipped in this ball game. In the first matchup, as Scott mentioned, Tree of Hope got behind the Stars by 10 or 11 points. In fact, over 25 points as the Stars pulled off the press because of the rules in USA basketball. Anytime you have a 25-point differential, you cannot full court press, and another turnover.
Good defense forcing Jenny Villa into the over and back violation as she landed with her foot on the half-court timeline.
I mentioned Wells out of Memphis, the only player outside the Huntsville area on this ball club. Good job blocking out underneath by Tree of Life.
We will play 8-minute quarters, 4 of them completing this 13U championship game.
I mentioned Tree of Life. It's actually Tree of Hope. Started in the Seattle area at Tab Baptist Church. An outstanding program looking for a victory tonight.
Here's a 3 up top. Unable to get the roll, and the rebound by the Stars. Lane opens up, and a left-handed scoop shot is good for Hope West.
Hope West plays for 6A Brewer High School varsity as a 7th grader. She shows some impressive skills at that wing forward position. Also good block out there underneath by Madison Booker, number 35.
Baseline drive off the mark.
The Stars are very long, and the Tree of Hope has to be very careful as the point guard takes the ball to the glass.
Really good stutter step, and then able to drive to the baseline off the hoop for Brittany Wells.
Again, that pressure in the backcourt causing some issues for Tree of Hope.
Following this championship game, both programs will head home. I'm not sure they'll have much of a breather. It is a long summer of hoops for these teams. So many of these athletes have played together for multiple years, as the Stars now on a 6-0 run have taken their first lead of the game. Nyla Grace Collier with the bucket.
Nyla Grace Collier out of Madison, Alabama, took the ball with the left hand off the glass. Great job of executing and being aggressive, going to the rim for the bucket.
Setting back into that zone, opens up a three from the wing, and the weak side rebound by Booker. 6-0 run right now for the Stars. The basketball, control, reverse layup, 8-0 run.
Booker, a recent Blue Star 30 selection. She's an outstanding basketball player out of Richardson High School. And again, that pressure in the backcourt causing problems for Tree of Hope.
Here's Booker baseline. Good defense to cut her off by Kay Jackson.
And Scott, one thing about the Stars we've noticed, when they get the rebound, they're looking to push the basketball immediately. They feel that they have an advantage in transition over Tree of Hope in this basketball game.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Shot clock was at 12. It will reset at 30. 3:52 to play in the opening quarter. Substitutions come in for Tree of Hope, and the players were hugged to their bench with 3:53 to play. Here is how it will work in this 13U championship game. The clock will stop after made field goals in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, as we see some of the early highlights, and Hope West with that left-handed layup. As the Stars, the AL Southern Stars out of Huntsville, Alabama, on an 8-0 run, lead 8-5 in the early going. In the first half, each team will have 2 60-second timeouts. And then in the second half, 3 60-second timeouts, with a maximum of 2 timeouts allowed in the last 2 minutes of the fourth period.
Scott, the Stars are being very aggressive to the basket. If the Tree of Hope is not able to adjust and make some adjustments defensively, they're going to be in trouble, because the Stars not only are making shots in transition, but they're breaking down Tree of Hope, and Tree of Hope is not getting any backside help. So far, the ball game is falling right in the hands of Doug Bush's 2023 Stars with that 8-5 lead, an 8-0 run.
Doug Bush, longtime leader of this program, does a tremendous job of finding athletes, finding players, and then molding them into this program, and they're having the opportunity to see different parts of the country and win championships like they did 2 weeks ago in the AAU National Championships. Tree of Hope looking for a bucket. They started out by scoring the game's first 5.
And they did a good job being aggressive, rebounding the ball. There's Devin Coppinger, number 15. She did a good job boxing out down on the other side to get the rebound.
Nice job to kick it out. Shot clock is at 5. Now it's at 3. Open jumper from the elbow is not there. Rebound by Madison Booker.
That shot is going to be open at the free throw line most of the game, as the Stars are really attacking the wings for Tree of Hope. There's a good defensive play.
There's Fizo in the open court. Fizo cannot hit the layup, but a rebound by her teammate. And Riley Leishman with the pass down low is able to feed Imby Jones.
Good job by Imby Jones, going straight up, solid legs underneath, and using the glass to kiss it off for the bucket. Now, defensively, Tree of Hope needs to do a better job of communicating, as that point guard, Brittany Wells, does a great job breaking him down.
Tree of Hope, opportunity to take the lead. A 3 off the mark. Another rebound by Booker. She has had a couple of boards on the defensive end. She'll drive in, kick out to an teammate, and a 3 is off the mark. Tree of Hope coming out of it, up ahead into the open court, and just short on the attempt was Devin Coppinger.
And a good effort by Tree of Hope there. Kate Jackson did a good job keeping the ball alive. It was kicked out of bounds by the Stars, but I tell you something, as far as the Stars are concerned, that number 35, Madison Booker, for as big as a gal she is, she can really handle the ball and push it in the open court.
She wears number 35. I wonder if that's, I know, to anyone in the NBA who's coming off of a back-to-back NBA Finals MVP performance for the Golden State Warriors. Just checking into the game is Kennedy Davis, and she was knocked down to the court as she attacked the hoop.
That's a smart play by Kennedy Davis. I think the Stars recognize on missed shots they can get out in transition. And as you see, nobody was back for Tree of Hope with the exception of Callaway, number 14, who drew the foul.
First team foul of the game. Kennedy Davis, 2 attempts. Off the mark on both. Rebound knocked away. Saved by Tree of Hope. And the Stars control.
Good effort by number 15 for Tree of Hope. Devin Coppinger again going after loose ball, but she couldn't keep it alive. Threw the ball up for grabs there.
Shot clock is at 8. Davis, the floater from the baseline. Did not hit the rim. Clock needs to not reset, and there's a violation. One pass too many.
And that's a challenge, but give Tree of Hope credit defensively. They packed it in, and they forced the Stars to make the extra pass there. And the shot clock violation turns the ball over.
Good defense in the backcourt by the Stars. The Southern Stars leading 8-7. And a kick violation off the foot of Maya Thurman. There's number 11, Maya Thurman.
Maya Thurman presents a challenge here because she's so tall. That time, you think Tree of Hope might go to the glass and put up the shot, but Thurman throws a problem. A nice shot on the baseline there for a 3.
Riley Leishman with her first bucket.
And Tree of Hope, Scott, as they're starting to put pressure in the backcourt as well. This game is big up-tempo.
Second 3 of the game for Tree of Hope. Booker, a little shove, no call. And Tree of Hope, who has their lead by 2 in transition. Layup just off the mark, and the rebound by Thurman.
Coppinger need to go a little bit deeper to put the ball off the glass. And Booker, as you mentioned, 35, thought she was banged up as she drove the ball into the lane. She's a very aggressive player. However, I think she's playing a little bit out of control.
Booker, wearing the eye goggles, has put them up on her forehead, just tugged at her jersey, asked for a breather.
And Riley Leishman, number 24, as you take a look at her, nice job defensively as she gets right in front of the driving number 3, Kennedy Davis, to draw the offensive foul.
Shot clock is off.
Scott, for Coach Bush and the Stars, they only carry 7 players. So this is going to be a challenge for them in this ball game if Tree of Hope can continue to push pressure here.
Tree of Hope breaks the press. They will attack as the clock winds down. And the offensive putback is good.
Good job of bringing the ball to the rim by Tree of Hope's Callaway, and they got the foul up.
4 seconds to play, ball poked away. 1 second, and the first quarter comes to a close. A first quarter of runs. Tree of Hope from Seattle, Washington, the first 5 points. The next 8 by the Southern Stars from Huntsville, Alabama. And then the final 7 belong to Tree of Hope. They lead after 8 minutes of play in the U.S. Open Championships, 12-8, as you're watching USA Basketball, the championship game.
Basketball has been a game changer for me.
It's helped me grow as a teammate and a leader.
By establishing standards for youth development, USA Basketball is making a difference for players of all ages.
Through education and training,
They're helping to make the game safer
and more fun. Make sure your child is taught the right way.
Ensure you're the best coach you can be.
To learn more, visit usab.com or download the USA Basketball mobile app.
Beyond tournaments, USA Basketball is leading the way in coaching education for basketball coaches at all levels. USA Basketball delivers in-person coach academics to provide valuable insight and education to coaches and administrators of the game. Academy sessions impart the USA Basketball player curriculum to teach the game to all players of all ages and ability levels. USA Basketball guest speakers deliver presentations on basketball and leadership topics in all of their areas of expertise, giving information that can be applied both on and off the court. So much is done for the game of basketball here at USA Basketball. This is the 13U US Open Championship. Tree of Hope is in the white and the red. They have the 4-point lead over the AL Southern Stars in the navy blue. A three from the left wing from West is off the mark.
A good job by Brittany Wells setting up the Stars offensively. She had a chance to drive the ball right through the zone, but chose to dish it off under the wing.
Patience against the 2-3 zone for Tree of Hope. 30-second shot clocks in this US Open Championship game. Nice bounce pass just off the mark. Good entry pass, though, from Maya Calloway.
Yeah, Katie Fiso has an easy layup, and she just missed that one just by a touch, but good ball movement by Tree of Hope.
Booker, who received the breather at the end of the first quarter, is back on the floor.
Boy, Booker very aggressive. She got away with putting the ball on the floor. Sometimes when the big person puts the ball on the floor, a turnover can ensue. And again, Booker doing a good job defensively with a steal.
Handles the ball, flips it off to a teammate. There's a wide open look at a three, just off the mark. Good look, though, by Brittany Wells. Tree of Hope into the front court, and the layup is good for Katie Fiso.
Great job by Leishman getting her head up and finding Fiso on the break for the bucket.
Second time that Fiso has been able to get a breakaway layup. That's off the hands of the AL Southern Stars with 6:25 to play. This is twice now that Tree of Hope has been able to get up and fire that ball in transition to Katie Fiso.
Give Leishman a lot of credit for seeing the basketball court as Tree of Hope has switched into that man-to-man, creating a little bit more pressure for Coach Hines' ball club.
Nice dribble, good look at an open shot, and we have a whistle. You know, one thing that USA Basketball does, Mike, is they utilize the modified FIBA rules, the International Basketball Federation. So USA Basketball believes that this is the first true youth basketball tournament in the United States to play under the FIBA rules, and that's why they've slightly modified it to fit different age levels, and that includes this 30-second shot clock. And that's one thing about this tournament is it's not based on grades, it's strictly age levels across the board, and this is the 13U Open Championship game.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple sixth graders play here today. Good ball movement once again by Tree of Hope. Liebman doing a good job breaking that defense down.
Booker comes out of the pack. Up ahead, that's Kennedy Davis. He will dribble back behind the arc and off the mark. Rebound, Tree of Hope. And with this shot clock, they're alive for a little bit more of a free-flowing game, and timeouts may not be called during game flow. They're not allowed to stop live action on the court. So that will keep things moving along back and forth, and we'll see that here in this second quarter of this US Open Championship game.
And Scott, Tree of Hope doing a better job getting back on defense after missed shots. No longer are the Stars getting easy looks, but there's a nice job by Wells breaking down the defense and getting the layup there to West.
Really good ball handling by Wells. Second bucket for Hope West. And the three is good. Third three for Tree of Hope, the first for Jenna Villa.
Jenna Villa just stepped up like she had done it before. Solid forward from the wing, dropped it home for a trifecta.
And the head coach for Tree of Hope, Mo Hines, said that his team will shoot the three. He has been coaching this particular group for quite a while, as you mentioned, after his stint as an assistant coach at Washington State. And he says even with, it feels like the three ball really becoming in vogue now at the collegiate level and the NBA level, he's been doing it for a while, but the big key is making sure physically you're developed well enough so that your form and your shot is able to pull off that. It's not just a three that you want to heave up there. He makes sure that before any of his athletes are able to shoot that three and utilize it, be strong enough and have the proper form to shoot from that distance at the right age.
He's getting great help defense now. Good job by Coppinger coming over and helping off against Booker inside. And right now, it looks like Tree of Hope is starting to gain some confidence out here in the basketball court.
Basketball remains with Tree of Hope.
Coach Hines has to feel pretty good about the defense. Katie Fizo played out there, number 22. She took a break here earlier. She's done a very nice job defensively for his team.
So a timeout on the floor, 3:47 to play before halftime. Tree of Hope is leading 17-12. And to learn a little bit more about USA Basketball, based in Colorado Springs, Colorado, USA Basketball is a nonprofit organization and the national governing body for men's and women's basketball in the United States. As the recognized governing body for basketball by the International Basketball Federation and the United States Olympic Committee, United States Basketball is responsible for the selection, training, and fielding of teams that compete in FIBA-sponsored international basketball competitions, including the Olympic Games. USA Basketball is also responsible for the coordination of youth basketball initiatives in the United States and carry out those duties through the initiatives that address player development, coach education, and safety. And there's a great shot here. We're at this Pacers field house, the Pacers Athletic Center in Westfield, Indiana. Great shots of the Indiana Pacers logo, Miles Turner, Victor Oladipo. And the other thing, Mike, you can't help but notice when you walk in is the big navy blue curtains and the large cutouts of athletes, NBA players, WNBA players who have represented the United States in the Olympics throughout the years. A complete USA Basketball feel as soon as you enter the facility here in Westfield, Indiana in Grand Park.
Boy, I tell you, the Stars are really trying to ramp up that offense, moving that basketball around a lot quicker.
Turns into a three on the left wing that's off the mark. Weak side rebound. Nice job to stay with that rebound by Leah Sutton for the Stars.
Yeah, good effort by Sutton defensively. Sometimes it's just the little things.
Little floater too strong, but a good look by Brittany Wells. Five-point lead and the basketball for Tree of Hope. Shot off the mark. Rebound by Sutton.
Got a good look there. And again, doing a good job coming back on defense. Tree of Hope with that 17-12 lead. Now engaged in the man-to-man defense, trying to force the ball away from the post. But there's a good look inside.
Just off the mark on the left-handed hook shot by Hope West. Tree of Hope pushes it. No shot.
Good job by Coppinger, moving the basketball back away from the baseline where she could potentially receive a trap.
And she did not want to force it when Coppinger had it in that corner. Coppinger in that corner now, but she'll watch a teammate fire off the three. It's off the mark by Kay Jackson. Here's Madison Booker, and watch her handle the ball in transition and just short on the finish, but she, I believe, will shoot two.
Wow.
They call it traveling? I think they call it traveling on the rebound. So no, it was a missed layup. The rebound was grabbed by Tree of Hope, but then a turnover after the rebound.
Big break for the Stars to get the basketball back. There's Booker again, off the mark.
She may be a little tired right now, number 35.
The game is definitely slowed down on both ends. Both kids really combating each other defensively. That's what that shot clock does. It really ramps things up so the basketballs move more offensively. Consequently, you've got to move your feet more on the defensive end as Coach Bush goes to the bench now, bringing in number 11, Maya Thurman.
Yep, Thurman will come in. Booker will take a breather as she tries to catch her air. 5-point lead for Tree of Hope from Seattle, Washington.
Whoever's playing at that foul line for Tree of Hope, if they want to, can put up a shot fake and then drive the ball to the rim. They're not looking to do that. Just serve as a distributor right now. It's Emmy Jones in the middle.
Shot clock is at 5.
Wow.
And hitting the bucket as the shot clock winds down is Jones for her second field goal.
Well, she made it simple. Just turn around and shoot it instead of putting up a shot fake and driving the ball to the rim.
Good patience by Tree of Hope. Lead is up to 7, their largest lead of the game.
Riley Leishman doing a very good job defensively, number 24 now on Wells. That's been the difference in this ball game. If you take the ball out of Wells' hands, it makes this team a little bit different.
And a turnover by the Stars. And Mike, the Stars went on an 8-0 run early on in the first quarter to take an 8-5 lead. Since that mark, it is a 14-4 run for Tree of Hope, and that spans the end of the first quarter. And you're looking at nearly 6 minutes and 50 seconds of this second quarter.
It's all about defense right now for Coach Hines Ball Club. Coming out in that zone defense, now switching back to the man-to-man and getting back on defense in transition, not allowing the Stars to get easy buckets. Let's take a look at this last shot here for the Huntsville team. The Stars, good jump shot there by number 8, putting it home. That was Imby Jones, actually, of Tree of Hope with a bucket.
And that shot clock, as that bucket went through, was at 2. So it's excellent job moving the ball around against this 2-3 zone defense for the Stars. There's a look at the AL Southern Stars 2023. Just 2 weeks ago in a tournament in Tennessee, they took home the AAU National Championship.
And that program was founded in 2000. Their first graduating class got in 2007. They've had 120 plus college signings at Division I, Division II, NAIA, and JUCO level. That's pretty impressive.
That's really impressive for head coach Doug Bush. One minute and 10 seconds to play before halftime. Halftime is 5 minutes in between quarters, just a 1-minute break.
Tree of Hope has done a really good job taking care of the basketball here in the second quarter. That's the reason why they're on top by 7.
Shot clock now at 10. Doing a really good job of being patient on that perimeter. Just out of reach on the rebound for Imby Jones.
Boy, Jones almost had that rebound. That would have been disastrous for the Stars. They need to get on the board here to cut this margin.
Sutton, a good pass inside. Booker too strong. Rebound, Tree of Hope. Shot clock, game clock nearly identical. Runner is off the mark for Riley Leishman, but a turnover, and Tree of Hope misses the long-range jumper. Ripped away by Leah Sutton. 12 seconds to play. The Stars can hold for the last shot. Madison Booker. 5 seconds on the clock, banks it in.
Boy, she got the attention of the glass there and kissed it in.
Here's a 3/4 court shot that's off the mark. So Booker is able to hit a bucket with 5 seconds remaining in the half. That was just the 3rd bucket of the second quarter for the Southern Stars.
And it was well defended there out top by Kay Jackson. And I tell you what, defensively, Tree of Hope has really stepped it up, and Coppinger, number 15, and Leishman, number 24, are really showing some toughness defensively for Coach Hines Ball Club.
And so it is a 19-14 game here at the half. More from the 13U U.S. Open Championship game. Tree of Hope from Seattle, Washington, leading the AL Southern Stars 2023 by 4 here at the half.
The USA Basketball Open Court program is designed to bring free play back to communities. We find a facility that's willing to open their doors for 12 straight weeks to allow kids just to come in and play. They don't have to register, pay a fee, or buy a uniform. USA Basketball finds the court monitors, and there's no coaching. Kids just come in and they drop in, kind of like we all played growing up.
To see some of the spark in some of these kids' eyes when they're out there on the floor, especially when you see them having success. I mean, that's a big motivation for me.
Everything we do at USA Basketball is designed to be based on fun, safety, and development. Our open court program is not competitive based. It's designed for you to be able to not just play basketball, but communicate. 2-3 weeks into the 12-week open court program, now children are forming teams on their own, communicating, working through problems. They get to come every week, and they earn points for coming. And they're allowed to exchange those points in for USA Basketball jerseys and hats and jackets and backpacks and other items. It's not just about basketball for us, it's about life skills that we can use basketball to impart.
He has a blast. He looks forward to every Monday. He asks me, is it Monday? Do I have basketball today?
We've been very excited that a large constituency has really embraced and adopted our open court program, and it's been wildly successful. Everything we do is designed to get them to enjoy basketball for life.
We are at halftime of the 13U U.S. Open Championship game, a 19-14 lead for Tree of Hope from Seattle, Washington. I'm Scott McCauley along with Mike Walensky. That's a fun first half of basketball, and it was a first quarter of flows. 5-0 run for Tree of Hope as they jump out to the early lead. An 8-0 run by the AL Southern Stars, who knocked off Tree of Hope in the opening round game on Thursday. But then things really started to settle down for Tree of Hope. They were patient. They held on to the basketball. They end up finishing off the end of the first quarter and the start of the second quarter with a terrific run, and they have this 5-point lead right now at the break.
Yeah, things really changed, and because of that, it all happened on the defensive end. I think Coach Hines got a lot of effort from his team in terms of attacking offensively, and then defensively, that man-to-man really caused some problems for the Stars. Now, the Stars have a really talented group of kids. They've got a couple kids that are extremely good, and I tell you what, Madison Booker is a phenomenal player, but they've got to be a little bit more efficient, taking better shots as they progress this ball game. Otherwise, it'll get away from them.
There's a look at this incredible facility where USA Basketball and this U.S. Open Basketball Championships have been held since Thursday. We are at the Pacers Athletic Center in Grant Park. It is in Westfield, Indiana. This is the Pacers Championship Court where this 13U game is being held. Mike and I will also have the 13U Boys U.S. Open Championship following the conclusion of this 13U Women's Championship. Now, the USA Basketball has evolved into an inclusive organization that is an all-encompassing mission to ensure people enjoy the game. The same gold standard that drives the women's and men's national team programs to victory is permeated throughout the organization. In 2016, USA Basketball chose to reveal its men's Olympic team to a surprise group of kids at its youth clinic in Harlem, New York. How cool would that have been for those kids? And in the process demonstrated the USA Basketball mission ties together everyone playing the game. It's really cool what has been happening around USA Basketball and these youth initiatives. You talk to both coaches about this experience, this festival here at Westfield, Indiana, and both of them have really enjoyed it. Both assistant coaches, and talking with Rita Collier from AL Southern Stars, she said that this has been a fantastic 4 days and what they've been able to do for all the athletes from all across the country. And now the AL Southern Stars realize they are 2 quarters away from what might be their second championship claimed in a tournament in 2 weeks, but they have work to do. Hope West had the ball juggled as she went up, kept her possession, and was able to finish.
She finished. The ball was deflected. Consequently, no travel called, but West stuck with it, got the ball back up, and scored against a really aggressive defense as Tree of Hope came out trying to trap at the top.
Hope West, one of the longest tenured members of the AL Southern Stars 2023 program. Tree of Hope from Seattle, they are in the white and red. They have the 3-point lead.
The Stars have to feel pretty good about it.
Shot clock's at 1.
Their defense is really stretched out. Tree of Hope right now, as you saw, they could not convert against this shot clock.
Here's a look at the lineups as we get ready for the second half of action when you see Tree of Hope and the Southern Stars go to work. And the people to keep an eye on right there, Hope West, who had the first bucket of this second half. She has 6 points. Madison Booker, number 35 for the Stars, also with 6 points on 3 field goals. Tree of Hope was able to hit 3 threes in the first half, while the Stars have yet to hit one from long distance. There's a look in the paint. Scoop shot not there, but the rebound is there, and Tree of Hope will bring it back out.
Well, West right now has got something wrong with her eye. She can't see and she can't come up and play defense, Scott. I'm surprised they haven't called a timeout at this point, but she's struggling through this. And defensively, the Stars giving up the inside game there to put pressure on the perimeter. They got the ball back.
Jenna Villa missed that shot on the other end for Tria Hope, trying to apply some defense to Madison Booker. There's a three off the mark by Kennedy Davis. Boy, good defense by West. Poked it away from Jones. Trying to split two defenders and crashing down to the court is Brittany Wells, slow to get up.
Well, she's awfully good in that move there. Let's hopefully she's okay.
Here's
hit
Wells.
She
Here's
bumped
her
head.
move.
Bumped the left side of her head, Scott, as she went down. Her stop and go move was sensational. Sped right on by the defender as they're taking her out of the game. She is a enormous part of this Stars basketball team at point guard.
So she will check out. AL Southern Stars trailing by 3. 30-second shot clock right now sits at 10 for Kennedy Davis.
You can't put a price tag on Coppinger's defensive play, number 15 for Tree of Hope. Doing a great job on West.
Sutton with positioning down low, unable to finish, and the rebound grab by Tree of Hope.
Huerta doing a nice job leading this ball club at the point, number 21. Keeping the basketball under control for Tree of Hope, and good shot.
And a three is up and good for Katie Fizo. 4 threes now in the game for Tree of Hope, and a reach-in foul sends Hope West down to the court. Well, we knew that Tree of Hope would be shooting threes. They've hit the only 4 in this game. Good shot by Fizo. His previous 2 buckets were in transition. Sutton with positioning. Sees the double team. Finds her teammate Davis too strong with the floater.
Yeah, might have been able to kiss it off the glass. An easier shot instead of going straight at the rim. And again, Tree of Hope doing a good job, balanced defensively, getting a rebound.
Huerta, a long-range shot off the mark. Rebound by Nyla Grace Collier, up ahead. Davis cut off by Huerta. Nice spin move underneath, and Sutton is able to finish.
Sutton's doing a really nice job, Scott, finding possession on post play inside, but not finishing. That time she finished strongly, and that's what they need from her.
Into the paint, not there. Offensive rebound, Jones missed it. Battle for the rebound, and the Southern Stars touched it last.
Coach Bush has to be very concerned about Madison Booker inside, number 35. She just ran out of gas. She's not rebounding much at all. Now he's considering take her out of the game. Instead, he's putting West. He's going to have 2 big post players, but Booker needs to get some energy back.
Into the paint, nice dribble and a good finish. Really good step inside by Devin Coppinger.
Coppinger doing a great job. Thurman just looked at her and she just stepped through and got an easy layup.
Well, the AL Southern Stars are able to pull to within 4, but then Tree of Hope gets another bucket, makes it a 2-possession game. Good rebound, and Maya Thurman was pushed underneath.
Yeah, Adams did about as good a job as you could defensively, and that is, you got to push someone that deep. That was an easy bucket. Good job to pick up that foul. I'll take that foul any day.
3:57, so a little more than midway through this third quarter. Tree of Hope is leading the AL Southern Stars by a score of 24-18 in the 13U U.S. Open Basketball Championships. Along with Mike Walensky, I'm Scott McCauley. There's a look at Doug Bush, the head coach of the AL Southern Stars. And his squad, as he's been hitting the floor, this is the 5 that he has gone with, and it's been an impressive showing thus far by Tree of Hope and by the AL Stars. For this Tree of Hope squad, Katie Fizo has a big 3 already in this third quarter, and Imbi Jones has had an impact from that free throw line, but this has been a squad that has been very, very patient offensively and cut down on their turnovers, and it's helped out quite a bit. And you see on this Southern Stars lineup, Madison Booker, number 35, got off to the hot start, but has run out of gas a bit, and Hope West has made a difference so far in this third quarter.
Well, if Wells can get back in this basketball game, as she had to sit out here, she fell to the floor, she's still on the bench.
Yep,
she can make a difference. And so now, as far as the Stars are concerned, Scott, it's Kennedy Davis, number 3, who's going to have to take command of this offense.
Yeah, Brittany Wells still on that bench after falling down, trying to split 2 defenders. That ball went off of the shoulder of Tree of Hope's Kay Jackson.
Coach Hines, playing with 11 players on his roster, seems to have a little bit more energy from his ball club. That depth is paying off.
Turnover by the Southern Stars. And now the Stars will have an opportunity to apply the press. And Tree of Hope throws it away a little too high from Mayana Calloway.
Yep, nice diagonal pass to Calloway, but as you mentioned, got a little bit out of control and tried to just force the pass immediately without surveying the field and threw it away.
Kennedy Davis to Leah Sutton. Good job to hold on to the pass by number 13, Sutton. Davis trying to get it inside to Thurman. Thurman from under the hoop cannot get it. Booker an offensive rebound and the putback.
Booker with her size over the top with a good bucket, as Calloway was a little bit deep there.
In transition, off the side of the backboard, we've got a whistle. So the foul will send Tree of Hope's Devin Coppinger to the line to shoot 2.
Looks like Maya Thurman's going to pick up the foul there, and Coppinger did a good job being aggressive, going to the rim and drawing a foul.
First free throws of the game for Tree of Hope. The AL Southern Stars have done a nice job of getting it to 4. They've done that on multiple occasions in this third quarter. But Tree of Hope has been able to answer, 1 of 2 for Coppinger on that trip.
The Stars have a size advantage, but they've got to be able to break this pressure.
And they will get a whistle in the backcourt on Riley Leishman.
Yeah, good call, Riley Leishman. There was some contact in the backcourt in the upper body, and she draws the foul.
Turnover. Brittany West is back in the game, and they were double teaming her, preventing her from getting that ball into the backcourt. Here's Leishman with the basketball. And Tree of Hope will settle things down. They've been very efficient on the offensive side.
Interesting, Scott. Tree of Hope now playing without a true point guard in the lineup.
Shot clock is at 10. The skip pass to Leishman. Shot clock now at 4. Leishman has to put up the 3, and she finds the bottom.
Great job by Leishman. She had plenty of space between her and Brittany Wells and decided to knock it down.
Lead back up to 8, and a quick answer for the Stars. That answer by West. Hope West, she has 8 points.
A couple possession difference with that 30-second shot clock. Anything can happen now. And as I mentioned, Tree of Hope doesn't necessarily have a true point guard out there, but are getting good shots.
Back-to-back threes for Tree of Hope. Coppinger with her first triple of the game. Approaching 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 9-point lead for Tree of Hope.
Leishman doing a great job on Wells, forcing her outside to the right side, but good job of West posting up and 1.
And an opportunity at a 3-point play. First opportunity for Hope West to head to the line.
Good job by West posting up in front of Coppinger and laying it up off the glass and drawing the foul.
And West now 10 points. An opportunity to make it 11.
Coppinger and Leishman both playing excellent defensively for Tree of Hope. They're getting really solid efforts on the basketball court in that half court defensively, but not that time as the Stars break it down for 3.
Big 3-point play by West to get the lead back down to 6. Leishman, another 3 off the mark. Rebound by West. The point guard wants to push. Push right down the middle of the lane, off the glass, and good. A quick 5-point answer after back-to-back threes by Tree of Hope.
Wells wanted to score. As soon as she got the basketball, she was off to the races.
Tree of Hope, off-balance shot, rebound by the AL Southern Stars.
And when Tree of Hope starts pushing the basketball offensively and taking bad shots, the Stars come back and make this a ball game.
Here's a floater off the mark, own rebound. Here's the kick out. Sutton from 18 feet. Battle underneath. Who comes out with it? The Stars. 3 from up top and a huge answer and an 8-0 run by the AL Southern Stars.
Give Nyla Grace Collier 0-0 a plus. She kept the ball alive. And there's a foul. And the Stars are really making a move here, Scott.
It's a 1-point game. Just beyond the arc.
Nothing but net for this youngster out of Memphis, Tennessee, Brittany Wells, number 4.
And now Leah Sutton at the stripe.
Leah out of Jackson, Mississippi, wing forward for Coach Bush's ball club.
Back-to-back threes for Tree of Hope opened up a 9-point lead. And in less than a minute, it has been a 9-0 run to tie the game up by the AL Southern Stars. As Sutton hits 1 out of 2, we are tied at 31. Approaching the end of the third quarter. Right wing, off the mark. Rebound batted around into the hands of Tree of Hope. Another offensive rebound. Fresh clock.
That's a good job by Kate Jackson, number 12, following her shot there. As number 35 for the Stars, Madison Booker, down on the ground. Let's hope she's okay.
I think they're going to have her check out. She's had to go to the bench a couple of times. It's been a tough physical game for number 35. Madison Booker, 8 points, takes the seat. Shot clock is at 20 for Tree of Hope.
Booker's pointing to her right hip.
Mike, this is the first tie all game.
Wow.
Nice dribble to free up the shot, not there. Battle for the rebound, taken away by Leah Sutton. And the Stars can take their first lead since very early on in the first quarter. Rebound, Sutton, put back, too strong, and the horn sounds. They tried to get one up just before the end of the third quarter. 8 more minutes to play in the 13U U.S. Open Basketball Championships. Tree of Hope out of Seattle, Washington, and the AL Southern Stars 2023, all tied at 31. Welcome back to Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis, Indiana. Tree of Hope in the red and white, taking on the AL Southern Stars 2023. We are tied at 31, along with Mike Walensky. I'm Scott McCauley at the Pacers Athletics Center here at Grand Park. And Doug Bush saw his squad fall behind 31-22 with 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. And they quickly rattled off 9 straight points. And they end up tied moving into this fourth quarter. 8 minutes to play in this U.S. Open Championship.
Oh yeah, Brittany Wells playing at point guard. She's healthy. Anything can happen from a good standpoint for the Stars. A nice shot in the corner by Fizo.
And Fizo with her second 3 of the game. That stops the 9-0 run. And a 3-point lead for Tree of Hope. Here's on the drive Hope West. And a blocking foul.
What makes Hope West difficult, Scott, is the fact that a lot of players on the wings are right-handed. She's left-handed. As you look at Fizo with a nice shot. Nothing but net there on the right wing on the 3-point shot. for Treve Hope.
And there's a Kennedy Davis trying to avoid the turnover. A great job. Gives up her body and pokes it back out to her teammates. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Point guard Brittany West with the ball, left side of the lane, kicks it off. 15-foot jump shot is good by Nyla Grace Collier.
Good job of dribbling the basketball by the point guard Wells, and a good bucket for the Stars.
Fizo already with 2 threes, missed that one. Big rebound underneath, and heading to the free throw line to shoot 2 will be Devin Coppinger.
Coppinger gets the rebound inside, but on the other end, even though a bucket was scored by the Stars, she did a good job helping out defensively and tying in man-to-man defensively with Hope West. And she knocks down this foul shot.
Coppinger
She's really a good basketball player.
Now 2 for 3 at the line. It's head coach Mo Hines. He is busy in the youth basketball scene in Seattle, Washington. Coppinger able to come away with it. He actually will board a flight for Minneapolis following this championship game and coach the 17U team at a tournament in Minnesota after this one is complete. Kennedy Davis passed up the 3. Her runner ties the game at 35.
Smart play by Kennedy, passing up that 3 because she got a better shot and a better look to tie it up.
And there's the turnover. Booker down low and a tie-up.
Actually, they're going to call a foul there on Riley Leishman on the floor, and probably the next best thing because, frankly, Booker had an easy look at the bucket. Nice pass there by the Stars, and again, gave up the 3, one-hander floater, net.
So they way off the tie-up. They call the foul. Inbounding underneath will be the AL Southern Stars, looking for their first lead since it was 8-7. What an offensive play. Great play on the touch pass from Booker. Unable to finish it off, but that's a great set.
That was a tremendous set by Booker. Smart play, tipping the ball to an open man on the left side of the bucket, couldn't finish.
How many times can you bring that out? Maybe only once, right? You're saving it for that moment. Here's a 3 on the other end, not there. Rebound by West.
West been all over the court on the boards. Good job in transition.
Kennedy Davis just could not get her steps together on the layup. Fizo left wing. Here comes a triple team. Fizo wisely gets rid of it.
Good job of getting rid of the basketball. Got to communicate here.
Scoop by Coppinger is good.
Coppinger does a great job in terms of making decisions with the basketball. She could have passed it out. She felt the pressure, saw a little space, drove to the hole, 2 points.
Here's a 3 off the mark. Rebound West, up and in.
Well, she is all over the basketball court, rebounding, handling the ball. These kids are really playing hard.
Fourth quarter now, 6-6 for each squad. Hope West with 13 points.
And this pressure starting to lay on Tree of Hope here. We've got to find a way to break this and score.
Coppinger, a little stutter step, nothing there. Looks for help. Finds it. A deep 3 right wing. Rebound by the Stars.
Boy, Villa loves to shoot that 3. Every time she gets the ball in the wing, she's firing it up, and she just can't find it here late in the fourth quarter.
AL Southern Stars looking to be patient and capture the lead for the first time in the fourth quarter. West kicks it out. There's a 3 on the ring, off the mark. Weak side board by West. Kennedy Davis uses the West screen, cannot get it to go. Booker the rebound. And Tree of Hope dodges a couple of bullets. Some excellent looks down low. And a turnover as the pressure, some physical pressure, forces the turnover by Kay Jackson.
Well, I tell you, what a battle inside. Jackson won it, and then she has to come down the left side and threw it away, probably because of fatigue, as Coach Hines is having her come out of the ball game. Good matchup here in the backcourt between Huerta, 21, and number 4, Brittany Wells at point. Here it is.
Stars had a couple of great opportunities to take a fourth quarter lead last possession. Kennedy Davis finds that floater. She's hit once from there. Rebound just out of the reach of Booker, who then fell down on the end line.
Boy, Huerta, as small as she is, she's battling Booker inside, and the ball gets knocked off the hands of the Stars, and Tree of Hope has it with a chance to go on top.
Here's a look at number 21, Jersey Huerta. Her older sister, Kylie Huerta, is an assistant coach. You can see her in the huddle. She's just off to the left of Mo Hines, off of his left. She just got blocked out by Coach Hines. 37 all, 4:26 to play in this fourth quarter. And Tree of Hope out of Seattle, the AL Southern Stars 2023 out of Huntsville, Alabama. And Mike, the Stars, you can feel that pressure, almost as if the court is tilting in their direction. And this squad here in the navy blue, they have had a couple of really good looks on offensive rebounds and a great set from an out-of-bounds play. They are knocking on the door, but still that elusive lead. Their last lead was at 8-7. They cannot seem to break through right now against Tree of Hope.
Nope. And the Southern Stars, I can tell you this, Scott, when Davis, number 3, and Wells, number 4, are on the court, they are a dynamite team. They can break down the opponent defense, and Davis is doing a real nice job with that shot fake, getting better shots at the rim.
Pressure now by the Stars. Double team in the corner. Coppinger, 10 seconds to get it across. And there it is.
Again, that pressure in the backcourt by Davis and Wells is doing magic right now for the Stars, enabling them to hang around in this basketball game. Wow.
And there is the first lead since early on in the first quarter.
Collier doing a great job of slipping through and getting the roll.
Collier and West, the two longest tenured members of this AL Southern Stars squad, making the difference here in the fourth quarter.
Nyla Grace Collier out of Madison, Alabama.
Fizo thought about the three. Huerta, Coppinger, jump shot from 15, off the mark. Rebound, Madison Booker. Booker up ahead, Kennedy Davis.
Nice soft pass by Booker. Davis, as small as she is, you don't expect her to finish at the rim. Did a smart job in pulling the basketball out.
Brittany Wells. And draws the contact.
And I tell you what, that contact, they had a great matchup there. Wells on Jenna Villa, number 34. Villa's not really the kind of player you want to come up and play man-to-man on this point guard who is elusive, does a good job of using her body to protect the basketball.
Three-point lead as Brittany Wells steps up and hits the first of two free throw attempts.
I think she's been key in this basketball game. When she sits out, that's when Tree of Hope has made their runs.
Boy, calmly steps up and hits them both. She now has 9 points. Hope West leads the AL Southern Stars with 13 points. Tree of Hope needs to get this ball across half court. They do not want another violation. They just get it across, and in the open court, Fizo is able to hit the layup.
There it is. You have to make them pay. You got to look to score against this press, and that's what they did. Tree of Hope back in the basketball game, just down by a pair. And the good news for both basketball teams, to some degree, is that we have a 30-second shot clock. You cannot hold the basketball. Got to attack.
A long two-point shot. Rebound by Booker. Cannot get it to roll in. Another offensive rebound. And heading to the line for a pair will be Collier.
You got to give Booker a lot of credit, number 35. She was very active on the glass there to keep it alive. She has times from time to time to shut her game down, and that's where Coach Bush comes into play, and he's done a great job pushing her, bringing that energy back.
Yeah, Booker has not scored in the second half, but has been an impact on the glass. Collier able to hit the free throw.
Collier has been strong around the rim, and a good sign for the Stars knocking this one home. The Stars signees over the years have gone to Tennessee and South Carolina, Purdue, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Florida State, Alabama. Great talent coming out of this program.
That is 6 consecutive free throws for the AL Southern Stars, 4 straight in the last 60 seconds. And they have the 4-point lead over Tree of Hope, who has led throughout. And there's a look at our participants in Game 2, the 13U U.S. Open Championship for the boys. And that should be a good one. This has been a good one here in the 13U championship game.
This could go down to the wire, and it should be. And for all I know, Scott, we might have an overtime game because none of these teams, not the Tree of Hope, is going to quit in this basketball game. There's still plenty of time at 2:48, but they've got to be able to solve that full court press. They're really having some challenges getting the ball across the midcourt line.
And there is team number 2 in the boys championships that we will have. There's a squad from Wichita, anxiously awaiting Wichita Select 2023 against the Texas Elite Got Skills. Texas Elite in that yellow you see in your background. That's the 13U championship game that will follow this girls' 13U championship game. And it will be blue ball after the turnover.
There's a turnover. They're having major challenges getting the ball across midcourt.
43-39. Now this will be an official's timeout as they'd like to wipe down the floor.
For Tree of Hope, Fizo, number 22, and Coppinger, 15, for the most part, have been playing in the backcourt.
I was.
And they've gone with those two players, I think, in that position, Scott, because it gives them some size to match up with the Stars.
2:42 on the clock. 30 seconds, full shot clock. Inbounding in front of their bench will be the AL Southern Stars. Nyla Grace Collier to inbound. Collier gets it right back. Give and go with point guard Brittany Wells, who missed some of the third quarter after falling hard to the deck, splitting 2 defenders, hitting the left side of her head, but she has been a big difference maker in this fourth quarter.
And Coppinger, probably their better defender, is on her at the point. She does a really solid job with her feet.
Shot clock now at 8. Kennedy Davis, a deep 3 off the mark. Did not reset the clock, and a costly turnover on the rebound putback. Tree of Hope put it along the end line.
Fizo had the rebound underneath. She took an extra dribble and dribbled it out of bounds, unfortunately. Although the officials, Scott, are discussing this one. Maybe they'll turn it over here.
It might be. Are they talking about the shot clock to see if there was a possession? And there's a definite possession change there, or was it swiped out? Officials are going to come over. Right now the Southern Stars are set to inbound, and they will.
Okay.
There's that touch pass again,
Beautiful.
and this time it works.
Beautiful play by Madison Booker. Beautiful as Collier got the good look.
Well, I guess there's your answer. It can be used twice in a game. When you cannot defend that height and that ability of Booker, terrific touch pass. Coppinger fouled on the way up. She will shoot a pair.
And when you're under 2 minutes, instead of taking the 3, which normally is going to go against you late in a ball game because you don't have your legs, take the ball to the rim. And that's exactly what this basketball team did to get to the foul line.
How about that out of bounds play?
Beautiful job. And speaking about the out of bounds play, it was Collier coming in from out of bounds to take that nice touch pass from Booker. Nice design play by the Stars as Coppinger knocks down that free throw. She has been a value player for Tree of Hope today.
You see the time remaining in the fourth quarter. We were tied at 31 entering this fourth quarter. Tree of Hope led after 1 at halftime and had a 9-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. And that's when the AL Stars, the AL Southern Stars, turned it up, and they have the 4-point lead with under 2 minutes to go.
And with under 2 minutes to go, Mo Hines has to talk to his team about the kind of pressure he wants from his defensive unit. With a 30-second shot clock, sometimes that changes your mindset. Maybe you get back in the half court and defend, but frankly, he may want to go full court and try to turn things over, much like his counterpart, the Stars 2023 has been able to do in the fourth quarter here.
After the 2 free throws, Devin Coppinger is now in double figures with 11. Katie Fizo leads Tree of Hope with 12. And on the other side for the AL Southern Stars, Hope West is in double figures with 13 points. Hope West number 14 in the back of that huddle.
The thing that makes me feel so good, Scott, about this championship is I've seen a lot of really good, fundamentally sound play on both basketball teams in terms of helping out defensively, moving the basketball, setting positive screens, and this has been a very well-played championship game.
It will be West, Davis, Wells, Collier, and Booker on the floor for the AL Southern Stars. Hope West inbounding to Brittany Wells.
Wells has that advantage on Villa with her quickness as they decide to hold the basketball and draw that clock down with that 4-point lead.
Shot clock now approaching 10 seconds. West inside that arc defensively. Coppinger ready to help as well. Wells trying to break down the defender. Coppinger nearly got a hand on it. Davis, and that deflection by Coppinger threw off the timing just enough as that shot clock violation occurs.
It seems like every time Coppinger is involved on the defensive end, good things happen for Tree of Hope. She played a really nice job defensively off the ball there and created that shot clock violation.
4-point deficit for Tree of Hope. And the AL Southern Stars will allow them to bring it across half court.
Villa wide open underneath as she's cutting through.
Villa in the corner. Kennedy Davis jumped the pass, knocked it out of bounds.
One of the things about Tree of Hope, they're generally a perimeter shooting team, so the Stars are going to try to force that defense out a little bit further and take away that shot.
Coppinger thought about the three, runs in for the floater, not there. It will be Fizo. She's hit 2 of those today.
She got it.
1-point game. Rebound, Tree of Hope. And then loose ball, Davis knocks it away. All alone underneath is Brittany Wells.
Good look underneath for Brittany Wells. She didn't panic and got the bucket. They're down by 3. They still have plenty of time to knock down a 3 or go for 2.
Shot clock at 20, game clock at 25. Here's the 3. Rebound on the weak side by Collier.
Collier did a good job getting in front of Coppinger.
14 seconds to play rather. And the foul will send on Hope West. It will be out of bounds. Are they going to change that and say 2 shots?
That was a good foul there because otherwise that clock's going to run down with a 3-point lead. There's still lots of time left to come down and get a bucket and then maybe a steal.
Big free throw for West.
West shooting with the right hand but dribbling with the left hand. Really solid player on both ends of the court today for the Stars and Coach Bush's ball club.
14 points for Hope West. Boy, a huge effort turnover and a steal by Kennedy Davis leads to the open look on the other end for Brittany Wells. 4-point game. Ball's loose, picked up by the Southern Stars, and Kennedy Davis is fouled with under 4 seconds to play.
A little bit too much ball handling because the Stars were able to come up with a turnover there as Madison Booker got her hand on the ball, and the Tree of Hope Ball Club coughed it up, and a chance to ice this one now with just 4 seconds.
Just 2 weeks ago, they won the AAU National Championship in Tennessee, and now closing in on the 13U U.S. Open Basketball Championship.
Well, Davis and Booker have done a really good job in the backcourt for this ball club. And a lot of hustle in the second half, and that pressure zone defense came into play in the full court level.
And there is your final score, 50-44. The AL Southern Stars 2023 knock off Tree of Hope by a final score of 50-47. It was a 31-all third quarter game, and then the Southern Stars took off, scoring 19 points in the fourth quarter. Put that into some perspective. They only had 14 points for the entire first half. And then they're able to come up with the big fourth quarter run. Congratulations to head coach Doug Bush as the AL Southern Stars 2023 are your 13U US Open national champions.
And I'm getting every word, every verb. Do something for me now. Play dirty like shoes on a muddy ground. Too smart with it, dudes try to dumb me down, but they get played like blues in a muddy cloud. Get you open and choose when to shut you out. Walk up in it like guess who? Try to dumb me down. I own it, I condone it.
The AL Southern Stars 2023 receiving their medals and the trophy as well for their 13U national championship as they knock off Tree of Hope by a score of 50-44. And an exciting game and a come from behind victory for the AL Southern Stars. I'm Scott McCauley along with Mike Walensky. It was a game that was dominated for 3 quarters by Tree of Hope, a program out of Seattle, Washington, but this program from Huntsville, Alabama, Mike, who 2 weeks ago was the AAU national champions, decided to amp up the pressure. Their point guard, Brittany Wells, was outstanding, and they ran away with this game in the fourth quarter. Even though the score is close, they just picked it up and they took off.
Yeah, it was their length in the backcourt and their pressure, and you mentioned Brittany Wells, and we talked a little bit about Kennedy Davis in the backcourt. That combination was just too much down the stretch for Tree of Hope, but a great exhibition of basketball, both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. And for both these teams that normally don't play with a 30-second shot clock, I was very impressed by their ability to move the basketball.
And there's a great shot of them receiving the team photo. Look at the hardware that they're able to take away from this championship. It looks like assistant coach Rita Collier will come on over, and she will have a seat and join us momentarily along with the point guard Brittany Wells after the outstanding win. And the assistant coach Rita Collier joins us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Outstanding game.
Thank you.
What a fourth quarter it looked like, especially when this young lady here to your right was able to get healthy and get back on the floor in the fourth game. Really turned up the pressure quite a bit in that second half.
Yes, it did. I was so proud of her. She did an awesome job. Our players tried to execute, and we executed well, and I'm just proud of the team. Can't say enough.
Brady did an outstanding job. All the folks back there in Huntsville want to make sure that they can able to see you and Brittany Wells and the job that you were able to do.
Yes.
As you approached the second half, was there an idea of turning up that pressure more or trying to defend on this perimeter? What did you have to do specifically to get back into the game?
Well, we had to defend. We definitely had to defend. They were able to get a few shots off, and so we had to defend them. And then we had to execute our plays as well. So I think we did a really good job of that, and we won.
And you won the game as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Coach, I have some thoughts about Brittany's play. I thought it was exceptional.
Definitely.
On both ends of the court. I thought when we took a fall there, things changed. More than anything else, what I was impressed by was her decision-making on the court. Not necessarily your scoring or your defense, but your decision-making, high IQ.
Definitely. She's a very smart player. She has great handles, and I'm just so proud of her for listening and paying attention and seeing what the defense gave her and was able to work with that.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll spend the moment, we'll spend some time with her. We'll have you flip the headset over to her. Coach Collier, we appreciate the time for you joining us. Congratulations, and here is the point guard, Brittany Wells, for joining us. How are you feeling? That knock on the head, you had to sit out a little bit in that third quarter. What was it like sitting out there on the bench for you?
It was hurting. I felt dizzy, but I knew that we had to still win, so I had to recover, and I couldn't be hurt or nothing. So.
Your teammates needed you out there. Well, you did an outstanding job out there, running the floor, handling the ball, and then Kennedy Davis dives on the floor, gets the huge turnover, and feeds you underneath. Excellent effort by you and your teammates today in the championship game.
Thank you.
You did an outstanding job. Thank you. Coach, appreciate as well. Thank you both for joining us here courtside. Safe travels home. Congratulations on another championship. I know they brought home the AAU title just a couple of weeks ago in Tennessee, and now they'll take home the 13U championship as well. Congratulations. We appreciate Rita Collier for coming over and joining us, the assistant coach, because the head coach, Doug Bush, has to head over and handle another game.
Wow.
That's what happens when you're at these festivals. You're on a court, and there's lots of things happening. Congratulations to the AL Southern Stars. They are the winners, 50-44 for Mike Walensky. I'm Scott McCauley.